Let me invite you just to be still as we go into our mindfulness meditation together. Just be still. Let your body breathe. Let it find its own breath, its own rhythm, all by itself. And then close your eyes and remain awake. In your stillness with your breath, eyes closed and mind awake. For this mindfulness meditation, let me invite you to choose, to use your mind to think, to identify a habit of yours that you find uncomfortable, unwanted, and that brings discomfort into your life in some way. You can choose any habit, anything that you find yourself doing on a repeated basis. Something that you wish to let go of. Something that you'd like to replace with a much healthier, supportive, healing, nutritious, strengthening behaviour, thought, and emotion. We call these addictions. We use the word addiction to describe something, a set of thoughts, behaviours, and feelings that are unwanted by us, that bring us unwanted experiences, that lower the health of our physical body, that create uncomfortable emotion inside our bodies. And as you identify, as you notice and start to think about this particular aspect of yourself, I have a question for you. In your wisdom, in your insight, in your calm self-awareness right now, what would you say this addiction process, this habit, fulfills for you? What hole does it fill? What gap does it fill in your life? Let me offer you the same question this way. What do you use this repetitive behaviour for? What function does it serve for you? Take a moment just to think and feel your way through that. Just explore. The chances are you find yourself feeling this uncomfortable feeling, doing the uncomfortable, unwanted behaviour, thinking the negative thoughts at particular times. Maybe when a trigger event is bringing those things to mind. bringing those thoughts to mind. But it may even be a non-event. It could be perhaps when you're alone with nothing to do, and there's no event happening at all other than nothingness. In the process of answering that question, you've just taken responsibility for yourself. You've taken responsibility for finding the solution to that habitual addiction pattern. That in itself is truly powerful, truly wise, truly wonderful. In simply acknowledging the question and looking for an answer, whether you find it or not, you have put yourself in the power position by saying, whatever it is that I'm using this addiction for, I recognize that's what I'm doing. I'm using a pattern, an easy, comfortable, old, outdated, unwanted pattern. And that's okay. There's no judgment. There's certainly no self-judgment. There doesn't need to be any. Now that you've identified and chosen, recognized consciously an old habit, and you're now beginning to explore what you use that habit for, what you use the addiction for. The next phase, the next act, if you wish, can be to discover and to acknowledge that it's optional. Even though an addiction pattern can be so deeply ingrained inside us, inside our behaviour, and so instinctive almost, it's not instinctive, but it feels instinctive. It happens so fast and it comes on so strong, the craving, the desire to engage in that behaviour, or to say the words, or even just to think the thoughts, or all three. That impulse, that craving, the desire can be so strong. Yet it is still optional, even though it feels so strong. And this last phase, the optionality phase, the acknowledging to yourself that it isn't the only option, it's not the only choice. You can say no, you can choose to do something new. And nothing bad will happen if you do. That is what optionality is. It's the recognizing that if you were to choose a new behavior, a more self-supporting, healing and nourishing behavior, or thought or emotion, nothing bad can happen from doing that. It's safe. It's a safe option. Not only is it an option that's available to you, but it's safe. And it will bring about greater happiness. So the option of choosing something that feels better is there for you all of the time, every second of the day. And the reason I say that is because in the midst of a craving, it feels like there isn't an option. I know that it does. from my own personal experience. I know the feeling of the power of a craving. It can be immense, overpowering, overwhelming, I know. But even in those moments of feeling overwhelmed, feeling overpowered, the option to not do the activity and to do something new is still there. It's always there. And it's always safe. And it will always take you in the direction of greater health and greater happiness. And I know this sounds obvious. Now we say it like this. Yet in the midst of a craving, this is what we lose sight of. We forget that it's optional. So in this meditation, you have already now reminded yourself of the truth of what's happening when you follow an addiction pattern or a habit. They're the same thing. So as we arrive gently at the end of our mindfulness meditation, let me invite you to see the light coming in through your eyelids. Feel your body weight resting. And when you're ready, open your eyes and notice how good you feel.